The Mummy opened, kicking off Universal's Dark Universe, and it was a movie. Look, Universal, we're on your side. We want the Dark Universe to work, but we wonder if you guys just aren't digging deep enough. Maybe it's time to ditch the recognizable monsters and go with the C-Team. We even did the digging for you. Here are 9 Universal monsters from the JV squad. Number 1. The Brute Man. The character being named the Creeper while the movie is titled The Brute Man is a real good indication of the level of thought put into this not classic. The Creeper was once a university football star named Hal. Hal and his best friend Clifford break the bro code and fight over their pretty classmate. Unable to compete with jockiness, Clifford gives Hal the wrong answers to a chemistry test, causing him to have to do extra credit after school. Hal gets mad and breaks a beaker full of exploding liquid because he sucks at science. Many years later, a disfigured Hal now terrorizes their college town as the Creeper. Creepy, murderous ex-football player sounds less like a summer blockbuster and more like an episode of Law & Order SVU. Dun dun! Number 2. The Mad Ghoul. An evil scientist named Dr. Alfred Morris exposes medical student Ted Allison to ancient nerve gas so that he can steal his girl. Ted is turned into a vacant ghoul who needs the fluid of human hearts to live. How is that not just blood? Who knows? Probably not Universal, which is why this one will probably stay in the archive. But you know, zombifying a guy to get a date still isn't as bad as some of the stuff I've seen on Tinder. Number 3, the Captive Wild Woman. A doctor takes the glands from a young woman and transplants them into a female gorilla. The gorilla then transforms into a beautiful, feral young human woman, and yet another example of screenwriters not understanding how bodies work. The doctor performs a no muss, no fuss brain transplant, but that doesn't prevent her from changing back into a beast, which makes the entire movie a waste of time. Women already exist. You don't have to go wife shopping at the zoo. Number 4, the Invisible Ray. Finally, a cool ray that makes things turn invisible. Haha, just kidding. This is about a rock. In the Invisible Ray, astronomer Janice Ruck uses a fancy new telescope to track down a meteor, which is not how telescopes work. Of course the meteor turns him crazy, and of course it makes his skin deadly to touch. He does glow in the dark though. I guess that's kinda cool. Stay away from science, kids. It can only lead to ruin. Number 5. Man-Made Monster. After Dan McCormick survives a freak bus/lightning accident, he discovers he is immune to electric shock. An evil scientist tries to exploit this gift by pushing those powers until Dan can electrocute anyone he touches. Okay, this is admittedly really cool, but we're starting to wonder what they're teaching at these universities. Is Mad Scientist a major or a continuing education class? Number 6, Black Friday. No, this isn't about Walmart's monster deals. College professor George Kingsley gets hit while crossing the street. His best friend, Dr. Ernest Sovak, gives him the ever-popular brain transplant to save him from death. But, wouldn't you know, the only brain available was that of a gangster who has hidden $500,000 around the city. The gangster's brain keeps taking over, and Sovak takes advantage of the war in his friend's mind to get that cash. Do you really want to watch someone fight a mummy while doing Brando? Dude's less scary than a comedian doing impressions on open mic night. Actually, I just sold myself. Yeah, I do. I do totally want to see that. Number 7, the Mole People. When a team of archaeologists go deep into the earth, they find a race of mutant mole men being used as slaves by another race of ancient albino Sumerians. There's also one really hot mole woman just because, The bright light of their flashlights hurts the mole folks, whose vision is messed up for being underground. The team are worshipped like well-lit gods until one of them is killed, proving that they're just a bunch of dudes. Mole people are always way more interesting as a concept than in the movies. No one's afraid of anyone who can be defeated by an iPhone camera flash. Number 8, the Deadly Mantis. A 200-foot praying mantis is freed after spending years encased in ice like an insect Captain America. The mantis reacts like anyone would after a good long sleep and goes nuts on everything around it. The military destroys the monster, but not before it makes a visit to the scenic Washington Monument. A giant praying mantis is pretty cool, but unless that bug's secret power is the ability to turn into a bankable movie star, let's keep it out of the team-up. Number 9, the Leech Woman. Endocrinologist Dr. Paul Talbot brings his wife June on a trip to Africa. She soon realizes that he plans to use her to test out a secret ceremony that promises it can reverse the effects of time. June does the only sensible thing, and has him killed. She then uses his body in the ceremony, and that makes her young again. She discovers that she can only keep her youth by using human pineal extract, which she obtains by killing a lot of men. Killing guys to stay hot forever isn't exactly the modern ideal of women power, and we've seen enough creepy aging and de-aging CGI to last us a while. Sorry you had to be born in the terrible, terrible past, Leech Woman. Wow, these actually sound really cool. Okay, I've convinced myself. Make these movies. Click right here for more awesome Screen Junkies news. Hit us up in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and please, be good to each other.